Welcome, fellow colleagues and friends from around the world, to my presentation, Global Collaboration on Immigration. My name is Loretta Caballero, and I'm glad to be here with you this evening. I would like to thank Professor Blizzard for this opportunity to discuss something very important with you. We are all well aware of the immigration debate going on in the United States, and everyone has an opinion on how it should be handled. As someone who has been helping immigrants for over 20 years, I am not here to debate immigration laws and policies, though I could agree there needs to be some reform. What I would like to do is approach this issue from a different angle. But first, let me tell you a story. There was once a little boy who lived in poverty in Mexico, not knowing when his next meal would be. This little boy loved school and wanted to go, but his parents could not afford to send him. He sold candy on the street to get money to go. On his first day of school, the teacher sent him home saying that he could not attend without shoes. The next day, he went to school wearing his mom's shoes. This child knew for the longest time that he wanted to make a better life for himself. Through the years, all his struggles still were getting him nowhere, and he was tired of the situation that he was living in. He decided at the age of 15 to go to the United States to make a better life for himself. Though he was in illegal status, he was able to find side jobs to support himself. When he was 18, a company sponsored him and helped him gain temporary residence status. For 4 years, he worked hard, obeyed laws, and was making a good life for himself while sending money home to help his siblings. He then qualified for permanent residency. Soon after, he found the love of his life, got married, had 3 beautiful children, and adopted another 2 as well. They were married 22 years before he passed away. This man was Joaquin Caballero, and he was my husband. I tell you this story not to garner sympathy, but to help you understand the plight of an immigrant. Human rights, love, and the need for a better life knows no boundaries. Perhaps we have been approaching immigration the wrong way. This issue is much too complex to look at through the lens of one nation. It is a global societal issue, and it will take a global approach to address it. In order to balance immigration, I called for an interdisciplinary international coalition to develop strategies to address the underlying issues that lead to mass immigration. We as leaders need to look upon our roles in our nation and find solutions. There is a need for leaders who are trustworthy, ethical, good, and honest, who have high personal standards, according to Jones. While we all have these qualities, the issue of immigration requires much more. Levy, from his 2015 paper, explains that everything is about balance. You certainly want to reveal enough to humanize yourself to others rather than come across as a scripted but your public relations team. People appreciate high levels of candor. The key word here is candor. If anything, we must approach this issue with honesty and the freedom to discuss these hard issues that impact us all. Globalization has led to the need for all of us to be global leaders. While we focus on our own nations, we also must focus on the global impact as well. According to Levy, being a global leader requires people to understand the world and adapt quickly to rapid changes. To be effective in global environments, leaders need to be keenly aware of how they respond to cultural differences and how they celebrate diversity, not just tolerate it. This requires cultural curiosity and the empathy to walk in someone else's shoes. As the nation's leaders, we need to look at this issue of immigration through a global lens. Leaders must be in tune with their teams and be willing to adjust with the times. Leaders must be willing to embrace and become change effectors. It is time for us to make adjustments in order to affect change. I would like to talk to you regarding a concept of interdisciplinary teamwork. Complex tasks and projects that require interdisciplinary knowledge, diverse skills, and extensive experience can be implemented to affect change. Each one of us have a unique set of skills, expertise, and knowledge that we can use collaboratively to help find solutions. Susan Nancaro does a fantastic job explaining effective interdisciplinary teamwork. She states 10 characteristics underpinning effective interdisciplinary teamwork were identified: positive leadership and management attributes, communication strategies and structures, personal rewards, training and development, appropriate resources and procedures, appropriate skill mix, supportive team climate, individual characteristics that support interdisciplinary teamwork, clarity of vision, quality and outcomes of care, and respecting and understanding roles. Interdisciplinary teamwork is a complex process where different people work together towards the same goal, utilizing their experience and expertise. Each one of us have a unique perspective, and if we help each other understand those perspectives, we might be able to collaborate to find solutions. From the standpoint of the United States, we have a unique problem with immigration. As explained by sociologist Dr. Clausen, the United States has the world's largest immigration population in terms of total numbers. Immigration has been a key social issue in the country since its origins and has been addressed over the years with varying supportive or restrictive government policies. In modern times, much of the discourse on immigration policy has focused on the impact of unauthorized immigration. Many countries face the same challenges, but not to the same extent. However, in the United States, Congress has the biggest impact on immigration because it is the legislator that has control over immigration policies. The Constitution clearly states that issues of immigration are regulated and legislated by Congress. Ultimately, this gives them the legal capacity to amend or add on legislation regulating immigration issues. The plenary and unqualified power of the federal government to regulate immigration, naturalization, and related foreign policy belongs to Congress. In Article 1, Section 8, the United States Constitution grants Congress the reasonability to establish a uniform rule of naturalization, and this was according to the National Archive. Since the Constitution gives Congress the right to make immigration laws, they have changed through the years, depending on the needs of the country and the political motivations as well. But what if none of this was necessary in the first place? The only reason Congress has to address the issue is because of the immigrants' desire to come here. We need to consider what is their drive to come here in the first place. A better strategy would be to consider the rationale behind the motivation of the immigrants and address those underlying factors. For example, many people migrate with hopes of economic prosperity. It is hard for them to decide to leave their family and way of life to relocate, knowing they might not ever get to return. Perhaps if we utilize interdisciplinary collaboration and improve the opportunities for them in their homeland, there would be less desire to migrate. If we approach the issue of immigration from a global societal viewpoint, then a good solution would be for all of us and other countries as well to form an interdisciplinary group to formulate solutions to provide third world countries more opportunities in their home countries so that their citizens do not feel the need to migrate. This will also promote true social justice because everyone will have the opportunity for advancement, and it promotes equality. My personal perspective that I must stand by is that human rights, freedom, and love know no boundaries. I feel that since I have the knowledge, experience, and capability, that I have a responsibility to do my part in society and to assist others, as do we all. As a side note, I also feel organizations can be much more productive at accomplishing goals because governments tend to politicize issues and have no personal investment in the issue. Volunteers and organizations care and want to make a difference. Immigration is my conviction because it is wrapped in all aspects of my life. This may not be a topic of concern for others. However, we all here today because we care and we want to make a difference. In conclusion, people should be free to pursue opportunities for a better life. Limiting and controlling their movement has not rectified the issues of mass immigration. Addressing the underlying needs that motivate a person to want to leave their country to reduce mass immigration to normal levels and alleviate the concerns and issues that develop. We should lend a helping hand. Lifting up third world countries and improving their economy and lives there is also a social justice issue because we are improving the lives of those that are disadvantaged. This will also promote equality and address issues of racial disparity because most third world countries have a higher population of minorities. In order to balance immigration, I call for an interdisciplinary international coalition to develop strategies to address the underlying issues that lead to mass immigration. Instead of approaching this issue of immigration from a legal premise, let us use a humanitarian approach to improve all of our lives. My life would not have been the life it was if not for my husband and him pursuing those opportunities in his life. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss an issue that is near and dear to my heart, and have a great evening. This is a list of my references that I used as well.